All right, Shalom, that's the lesson. Doing to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Kakodash, the born our apostles and elder of great mills when that taught us the truth. Peace and blessing to the sincere Akims that's pushing this truth. In all truth and sincerity around the four corners of the earth, then to lead to I say Shalom. Welcome the brother you are from the great Mastoma in the camp. To come back to the spirit power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai to make another lesson. Okay, in this lesson I'll be going to how, the UFOs are here. And now they are, becoming, now there's even more sightings than before. Okay, and they have always been here, brothers, be seeing them on a daily basis, seeing them when you look up in the sky. All right, you see them, you could just be driving, you just looking in the sky, and you see just a dash of a light, okay, going somewhere. All right, and those are the UFOs, man. And even Esau, okay, he done came out and told you that these UFOs are here. Okay, I think it was like 2 or 1 year ago. Even the military said that they done seen the UFOs. Okay, and they done say that it defies the laws of physics. Okay, but Esau knows these UFOs are here, and ultimately they've been here. Okay, but Esau has no choice but to speak on them because it's now becoming more and more mainstream media. Okay, it's when they finally came out with it, and I believe it was a year ago. They came out and put them even on the news to say that, how the UFOs are real. Okay, but the men of the Lord been saying that that the chariots of the Lord, all those are those UFOs. Okay, the men of the Lord been saying that, even starting from our apostles and elders of great millstone, they've been preaching that those UFOs are the chariots of the Lord. You could just, I'll just hear, you could just do a Google search and say, UFO sightings. And it says America's nuclear sites secretly invaded by thousands of UFOs. New report reveals. And that's right, man. This is only 22 hours ago. And you could just keep going and scrolling. Okay, you can even go everywhere and search up, just UFO sightings. And all these articles and all these things are going to pop up. Because, they're here. The UFOs are here. This is what, 3 weeks ago, it says more than 100 UFO sightings reported in Pennsylvania in 2025. Okay, so British probe reveals evidence of UFO sightings in Belgium and within the United Kingdom. All right, so these are all articles, and these are, present articles on the UFOs, man. Now, you got to understand that those UFOs are the chariots of the Lord. These are the vehicles of the heavens. All right, that that are constantly, popping up, on planet Earth, man. All right, and these are going to be the vehicles of salvation. All right, these are going to be the things that save the elect from the destruction. Save the elect from the destruction of America. These are the vehicles that that's going to be used. All right, and and they're going to be here zapping people up, man. They're going to be beaming people. Okay, beaming the elect up, and as well as causing destruction. All right. But hey, this is the title lesson. The title lesson is going to be, okay, there are, the UFOs are the, vehicles of the Lord, man. Okay, the so-called UFOs are the chariots, man. All right, but I got a couple precepts, lined up. This is Zechariah 5, verse 1. It says, "And I turned and lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. And that's right, man. That's going into, and that flying roll is going to those, that UFO. Because when you see a flying roll, you understand that Zechariah is trying to describe it to the best of his ability in those times. So that's why he referenced it to a flying roll. All right, and and when you think of a chariot, that's that's what it looks like, man. Okay, and continuing on, this is and brothers, this website is called the kingjames.es. Okay, you can literally search it up and go to topics, and it'll give you a whole bunch of topics, regarding the scriptures, any topic regarding Esau or the end of the world, or World War III, or even the chariots, man. And it'll give you a whole bunch of precepts, and it's going to give you, the definition of the words in the Hebrew. All right, but continuing on to second Esdras 13 and verse 16, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he created himself upon him a great mountain and flew upon it. And as well too, the scriptures reference the chariots as different meanings. Scripture reference as chambers. Okay, when when that precept speak about those chambers, things speaking about the UFOs, because the men of the Lord, the elect, are going to be beamed up into those chambers to be saved from the destruction that's coming. Okay, you have a mountain that the scriptures reference. Those chariots would be clouds. All right, chariots. Okay, and it says, "Behold, but I beheld, and lo, he had created himself a great mountain and flew upon it." All right, it's not physically talking about a physical mountain and flying on top of a mountain. No. Okay, that's speaking on the UFOs, man. All right. This is Matthew 24 verse 30, and it says, "And then shall appear the Son of Man in heaven, and shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and glory." That's right, man. And another word for the chariots are the clouds. All right, y'all gonna see Yahushua coming in that fathership, because scripture say that it's gonna be so big that it's gonna be from one end of the earth to the other end of the earth. Okay, that's how big that fathership is is going to be. Okay, and then he's gonna have those many then he's gonna have those many chariots with him too as well. Okay, and he's gonna be coming back in great power and great glory. Everyone is gonna see Yahushua coming in those so-called UFOs that people portray as something negative. Okay, that they see that it's just it's just like an alien thing, but that's what Esau portrays those to be, because this devil deals with propaganda. Okay, so he's gonna tell you that the UFOs are aliens and this, that, and the third, so that when you see them, you get freaked out by them. Okay, and then he's gonna use that too when it comes for World War III. All right, when it's time for these nations to put their differences aside during World War III, he's gonna use that propaganda to push that. Okay, the UFOs are aliens, and we have to put our differences aside to fight these aliens that are in these UFOs, because Esau knows that they're there, man. Okay, it was even I think it was a video, a viral video of these damn devils trying to shoot down the chariot, but the chariot was just zigzagging, going around, going up, down, right, left, defying the laws of physics. Okay, because the chariots are not bound to this earth, man. They are they are spiritual aircrafts, man. All right, you have here, the aircrafts here, the jets, the planes, the bombers. Okay, understand that you are dealing with something from another realm and from the heavens. All right, so you are not going to be able to even touch a chariot. You may be able to see it. Okay, see it zooming in the sky, or going, turning a 90-degree angle at God's speed. All right, going extremely fast and just do a quick 90 turn. That's because these things come from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Okay, Esau tries to equate their laws and their physics to the chariots, but it'll never make sense to you, man. And this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, "And behold, he coming with cloud, and every eye shall see him. And they which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among." That's right, man, because he's talking about, Yahweh, he's going to come with those clouds, with them chariots, and every eye is going to see him. And it says, and also they which pierced him, because you got to understand reincarnation, because everyone's back in their lot today. So the same people, or Romans that, pierced Yahweh when he was on the cross, they are here today, and they're going to see him, and they're going to remember all those things that they did to him, man. Okay, they're going to, they're going to see Yahweh coming in that great glory, in that UFO that these people are so, they people are so scared of, man. All right. And, this last piece, this is Revelation 11, verse 12. And it says, "And I heard a great voice from heaven saying, Come up hither, as they ascended up to heaven in the cloud." Right, man. That cloud went into that chariot. And the enemies beheld them. That's right, man. These other nations and these other people are going to see, okay, the men of the Lord, certain people getting beamed up out of into a UFO, and they're going to be surprised. All right, they're going to be shocked that they're going to see, the men of the Lord getting beamed up, man. Scriptures call it, the strange, the strangest of their salvation. They're gonna call it strange that they're seeing, men getting just beamed up while these nukes are coming down. All right. This is Psalms 104 and verse 3, and it says, "Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind." That's right, man. Who maketh the clouds his chariot. All right, those UFOs, those so-called UFOs, man. And we know they're here. Esau tells you that they're here. And even on a daily basis we see them, man. And that's why we give praises when we see those chariots, man. All right, because that lets us know that the angels watching over us, and the angels see what we go through, and that's only gonna hasten up the day of the Lord, man. Okay, so the Lord's lesson is edifying. Okay, title of the lesson is gonna be the UFOs are the chariots of the Lord, man. So Lord's lesson is edifying. Okay, with that I do want to give all praise and my glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Kakadash, the born star apostles of the great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace and blessing to the sincere Akims. With that, I do want to say shalom.